Fulham versus Arsenal on Saturday is going to be a blockbuster. But for what reason? For the result or for the lineup change that Mikel Arteta may even do that's going to surprise you? Not me, you, because I'm going to break it down right here. I'm Ty Knight. Here we go. So, Fulham entertain Arsenal. In the last couple of seasons, we know Arsenal have not had a great happy hunting ground here. They just haven't, okay? Last season at Craven Cottage, it was 1-1. Season before, 2-1. Season before that, Arsenal won 3-0. But in total, of all the games that's been played, that's 36 in total, Fulham have only won 4 games at home and Arsenal have won 12 games away. So really, fortune favours the brave. You could turn around and say that this game is going to go to Arsenal. But, Mikel Arteta may make a drastic change, not just in the formation, but to the personnel. Now, it sounds crazy and ludicrous, and where am I going with this? I'm going to get to it. But bear with me for just a moment, and I promise you I'm going to get to it. But before anything else, let's just look at the form guide very quickly. In the last 5 games, Fulham have lost 3 and won only 2. In the last 5, Arsenal have won 3, lost 1 and drawn 1. The last 2 games Fulham have lost, and that's against Aston Villa and, of course, Bournemouth. Arsenal, the last 2 games, have won against West Ham and Newcastle. But that's not the big picture here. That's not going to be the big story. The big story for Arsenal and Mikel Arteta, because of Mikel Moreno's form in the international duties and where he was playing in the international duties, I've got this funny feeling we're going to see Mikel Moreno start this game, but not in the position as he was thinking, not even in the position that I was having a conversation with you guys about, which was, is it going to be Moreno or Eza who's going to start this game? I've got a funny feeling it's Victor Gyökeres may actually not start this game and Mikel Moreno may start this game. That's right. But I could be wrong. Sometimes I'm wrong. Sometimes I'm right. I'm not saying I'm the oracle of everything. But here's the formations here and the personnel on the screen right now. And as you can see, I've gone with Mikel Moreno starting up front with Eze just behind. And then you still have your Zubimendi and also Rice. You then have Trossard to the left, of course, Saka to the right, because Madueke is still out injured. And the reason why I think that this could be the starting lineup, Mikel Moreno for Spain played in this position. It was like a false number 9. And what this does, it helps build up attack. It helps the ball stick to the forward man, but equally can come back into midfield if bodies are needed. If you play a Victor Gyökeres, that can't happen. That's only one focal attacking presence that you have up front. And with us, but the thing is, against Fulham, they've got some big giants in defence. And Victor Gyökeres has been struggling so far in the Premier League. It hasn't been kind to him. 3 goals in the last 7 games. It's not a great return. It's not the poorest return. As again, as I showed yesterday with the Victor Gyökeres, is it hit or a miss? Is he a bust or is he just misunderstood? And I still go with the notion that he's misunderstood. But for this game, Mikel Arteta has options. He really does. And this is what he loves about his current squad. Now, don't be surprised to see Mikel Moreno starting Victor Gyökeres on the bench and then Victor Gyökeres coming on later on in the game, should Arsenal need him. And when I say should Arsenal need him, whether they're going to need him in the 50th minute or the 70th minute. Because Mikel Arteta, as we know, he's an overthinker. He really and truly is. And when he, no doubt, saw Mikel Moreno do what he done last season for Arsenal, then do it for Spain and then notch up 2 goals, I bet he's thinking, do you know what? If we cross the ball in, I think we're going to have more success with Mikel Moreno there rather than Victor Gyökeres. But Victor Gyökeres, again, shouldn't be underestimated. He's totally misunderstood. And Mikel Arteta has to get out of his head, with his overthinking head, and play him, in my opinion. But I just wouldn't be surprised to see Mikel Moreno play there along with Eberechi Eza behind him. Either way, if Gyökeres goes up front, then Arteta then has a dilemma. Does he then go with Eza or Moreno? Because then if he goes with Gyökeres, is he then going to think, let's play Mikel Moreno there? Yes, he's not the most creative player, but if we can notch him a bit more forward, Then if the ball goes long and we have to go direct that way, then we have someone who can flick the ball on, hold the ball up, and then spread that ball straight into Victor Gyökeres to run onto and score a goal. Bring Saka into play. He's not going to be a floating midfielder all going around trying to be creative. No, that's what Eberechi Eze was brought in for. So when you have an incident like we do now with Martin Odegaard, who's not going to be playing, then you bring on an Eze, or you start an Eze and say, wreak havoc. Start pinging the balls in left, right, and centre. But you can then turn around and say, you can drop Eze and have Martin Zubimendi be the player to ping the ball in left, right, and centre like he did against West Ham. We saw what he'd done with the ball over the top for Jurrien Timber to get the penalty. We saw the one-time touch that he'd done against Newcastle for Jurrien Timber again to get a header in. Okay, it didn't go in. But you see my point. There are now different options in the midfield for Arsenal. We just don't have to rely on Martin Odegaard, who's not going to be there this Saturday. Yes, you can look at Eberechi Eze and just be more of the creative spark, pick the ball up, drive at the heart of the Fulham defence. But the thing is here, when it comes to the striker, our striker is just not striking right this moment in time. So Mikel Arteta might just say, for this game, I want to go with Mikel Moreno because of what he can bring in the aerial attacking force that Victor Gyökeres can't. And just don't be surprised if this actually happens. And when it comes to the lineup, you just know it's going to be the same old back five, which is going to be a David Raya in goal, a Jurrien Timber, a Saliba, a Gabriel, and of course, a Calafiore. Then you're going to have the Rice and a Zubimendi. And then on the left-hand side, again, this is still going to be a question for debate of, is it going to be Trossard or is it going to be Martinelli? I would like to see Martinelli actually get a start this season. And I think against Fulham, this is where you're going to need a bit of speed on the pitch. It's not going to need to be your controlling game. It needs to be speed, ferocity, and Martinelli is giving you that. Yes, he scored again in the international, but international and the Premier League is just two different things altogether. Mikel Arteta needs to go with Martinelli this game, bring Trossard on later on. And again, when it comes to the right-hand side, we know it's going to be Bukayo Saka. It's not going to be Ethan Nwaneri, and it's definitely not going to be Madueke because he's out injured. But the thing is, when it comes to the creative side and then the striking side, again, this is where Mikel Arteta's got 3 players for 2 positions and has to make a big call on what's it going to be. Now I've said all that, what do you think it's going to be? Is it going to be Moreno up front or Gyökeres up front? And then if it's either one of those two, then who occupies that number 10 position? Is it then going to be Eze, Moreno? You need to let me know in the comments below straight away on what your thoughts are. And then also, what's your thoughts on my crazy, I almost said stupid, crazy analogy of it could be Mikel Moreno that occupies the false number 9. Or it could be Victor Gyökeres who occupies it. Or it could be Moreno occupying that Martin Odegaard role. Or it could be Eberechi Eze. So many options that Mikel Arteta has. And this is why we have a big squad now to go on and cause major problems for every team that Arsenal go up against in the Premier League, let alone the Champions League, FA Cup or Carabao Cup. You guys have been great. Thanks for watching. One thing I want to say is this. This channel, somehow, is just not popping. Great content. Not the greatest content out there in the world. We still got work to do. Even I know that. But it's good content. Good conversations. And those who watch and those who keep on coming back have been fantastic in the support. And I thank you so much for that. So, if you're new to the show, give it a like. Give it a subscribe. Turn that notification on and personalize that notification so every time we upload, you get notified. And press the hype button on your way out. Thanks a lot. I'm Ty Knight.